Hi again. It looks like we in Scotland have been put into complete lockdown for a further 3 weeks, and as we look across not just our own nation but across the nations of the world, we see the continued impact of coronavirus. I know that there have been difficulties and challenges for ourselves here, but nothing compared to what others have had to face in lands that are poverty stricken, for those that are living in refugee camps where the impact of the virus is almost unthinkable. That's why the Free Church has decided to donate £10,000 to the COVID-19 appeal that's been run by Tear Fund, and also to have an appeal to help ministries in India where things are also difficult, and promising to match the first £5,000 of donations that are given. And if you want more information about these appeals, please again log in to the Free Church webpage. Before I continue to what we'll call our thought for the week, I just want to say thank you to a few people who are working incredibly hard behind the scenes. Scott Matheson, a lot has landed on his plate, and he's done so much work along with the rest of the office staff. Muriel MacLeod, our legal eagle who's keeping us all on the right path. Callum MacLeod, the presbytery clerk, the assembly clerk, and those who assist him, who somehow are keeping the wheels of procedure turning. We thank Bob Ackroyd of the Mission Board and all the work that he is doing. We think of David Meredith, the Mission Director, who is looking out, it seems to me, for everybody. We think of the ETS staff, Principal Martin, Ivor Martin, and the rest of the academic staff, who again have ensured that students continue with their studies. And then, of course, we think of Simon Kennedy, who is our communications officer, who is ensuring that you're being kept updated with everything that's going on. And on behalf of you, I want to thank all of them, and apologies if I have missed any out. I've taken you today to the centre of Portree because our community has grabbed the headlines for the very reasons that we were dreading. There has been an outbreak of COVID-19 here in the village, and in particular in our local care home, where half the staff have been diagnosed positive and where 30 out of the 34 residents were diagnosed positive. Sadly, 6 of those residents have already passed away. The numbers in a small community are quite staggering, but you see, for us it's more than numbers. These are names, people we knew and loved and cherished, and we feel heartbroken as a community, and we would ask that you would pray for us. I've also brought you to a particular place in the centre of Portree, to the War Memorial, because today marks the 75th anniversary of VE Day, Victory in Europe, which was really the beginning of the end of World War II. And communities like this and throughout our nation lost many young lives at that time. The numbers were staggering, but they weren't just numbers, they were names. And here on this War Memorial you have some of the names chiselled into stone, lest we forget. The first remembrance service that I recall really paying attention to was one I saw many years ago, and I was really struck by just the awesomeness of it. And what struck me in particular was the singing of Psalm 124 by the choir at that service. And I thought, just as I read with you Psalm 29 last week, that this week I would read Psalm 124 with you. If the Lord had not been on our side, let Israel say, if the Lord had not been on our side when men attacked us, when their anger flared against us, They would have swallowed us alive, the flood would have engulfed us, the torrents would have swept over us, the raging waters would have swept us away. But praise be to the Lord, who has not let us be torn by their teeth. We've escaped like a bird out of the fowler's snare. The snare has been broken, and we have escaped. Our help is in the name of the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. You can see how that psalm seems so significant when we think of God delivering us and saving us at a time of war. I think it's wrong to compare what we're facing just now to a time of war, but nevertheless we do feel threatened, we do feel vulnerable, we do feel helpless. And where do we find our strength? Our strength is to be found in God's great name, for His name matters. He is the Lord, Jehovah, Yahweh, a name that speaks of a real and living God, a name that speaks of a compassionate and loving God, a name that speaks of a covenant-keeping God, and a name that came to us as Jesus, the saving God. I would urge you, please, to keep your focus on Him. When we are feeling all that we're feeling, when we're going through all that we're going through just now, whether it be here in the community of Portree or where you are, I'd urge you to keep on looking to this God, real and living, loving and compassionate, committed in covenant, and ultimately our great saving God. Take care, God bless, and God willing, we will speak again soon.